So, Princess was back in front of Judge Boyd recently, and you will never guess why. Before I get to that update, though, we're going to rewatch the last hearing because I thought we all might like to be infuriated. Great way to start your weekend. Also, I read through all of your comments on the previous video, and most of you thought we'd be right back in this spot again. There was also a comment from the victim's fiance, which was very insightful, and some other good information that I will share. You can find the timestamps in the description, and I will see you at the end. So Penny came to help me out today. We have a story for you. It's a DUI case, start to finish. On January 7th of 2022, Yvette Martinez was out with her friends at Pockets Billiards Hall in San Antonio, Texas. She had a few drinks, only 2, I'm sure. Then she headed home driving her GMC Yukon. And if you're not familiar with the Yukon, it's about one step below a school bus in size. So, for some reason, and surely not related to the alcohol that she had consumed since she only had 2, Miss Martinez drove through an intersection and she collided with a Nissan Frontier, which is a standard size SUV. In the Frontier was a father and his son. The father received serious injuries and spent over a month in the hospital. The son received minor injuries, and of course, Miss Martinez received no injuries that were noted. She was arrested on DUI charges and released the following day from jail on $15,000 bail. She was ordered to report to pretrial services and have an interlock device installed in her vehicle. An ignition interlock device is basically a breathalyzer test. It's installed in your vehicle for the purpose of preventing drunk driving. It requires the driver to submit a breath sample before being able to start the car. And then it requires periodic samples while they're driving to ensure that no alcohol is consumed while it's in operation. So a few days after this, she had her bond hearing, charges were officially filed, and everything began. In one of her Facebook posts, Miss Martinez mentions that she never drinks, ever. And the one time that she does, this happens. I mean, the irony. She's incredibly active on Facebook and posts all the time. So apparently, Miss Martinez failed to report and have the interlock calibrated according to the case notes. She has a very busy social calendar, according to her Facebook. And of course, she just started a new job. Did I mention this case is going to totally fill up your entire bingo card? So now we are in front of Judge Boyd, 170 days after the accident. Let's see how it goes.
All right, Yvette Martinez, could you come forward, please?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
All right, so here's the thing. I don't take any of this as true because I haven't received any facts on the case. So for what you're here for. But anytime somebody has an intoxication case, they need to be on some sort of monitoring device.
Yes.
And you haven't appeared, and you're saying that you're at work.
Well, it was my last day of training, and I do take responsibility for not going. I did talk to my manager. She said, if you do miss this last day, then, because she already told me several times, and told me, you keep missing, you keep doing this, keep doing that. I need my job, and I told her, okay. I made a promise to her in an email that I wouldn't miss. So I'm good now. I could take days off. I could do all that. I'm actually starting work. So I do apologize. I know there's no good excuse for that.
No, and see, here's the thing about that. When people think that they're putting their work first over their conditions, you can't work from the jail.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're here today and you could be going into jail today because you don't have, what you're supposed to have. So you could be taking days off at the Bexar County Jail.
Would have been horrible. Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, that's where you are now. Like right now, I could have the deputies take you in handcuffs and you'd be spending time at the Bexar County Jail because you chose work over following through on your conditions. You see, everything has consequences. Now, Ms. Ferguson, can you call her pretrial officer, Montemayor, and I want to know when she can get this monitor done. Like if they can get her in tomorrow, I want it in tomorrow. And if you don't have that monitor by tomorrow, if they can give that to you, what's going to end up happening, no excuses, your attorney is going to come in and you may be going to jail. You understand?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor. Mhm.
So just have a seat. We're going to see what is available.
Okay,
Mhm.
thank you.
Sure. Who's here on Vanessa Thatcher? All right, so you're going to go and report on June 24th at 10 a.m. If you're late, if you don't show, I'm going to immediately be given notice of that. And there's a chance that somebody's going to come to your house or your work to pick you up to take you into custody. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Okay. At 10 a.m., I'm writing it in. And we'll see you on June 24th at 10 a.m.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I'm not sure if she doesn't realize the potential consequences, if she thinks she's too cute to go to jail, or what, but she is definitely not taking this serious. She was posting on Facebook from court, updating her profile picture. I mean, I don't know. She's still going out partying, so it hasn't slowed her down any. I mean, at least she has a scram on now. I wonder why they started with this interlock and then went to the scram. Like, wouldn't they just start with the scram? I don't know. But of course, she was showing off her new bracelet on Facebook and whined about it a bit. But fortunately, she has a good group of friends who were comforting her, saying things like, join the club, and sharing pictures of their own ankle monitors. And a lot of people have them. She responded with, it's my first one. Like it's some kind of prize. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. They agree. It's crazy. What else is crazy is the amount of information I was able to find about her. You all know I don't promote products or services very often, but this one actually made a big difference to me. So let me tell you about Aura, who is sponsoring this video. Have you ever Googled your own name? Seriously. The amount of personal information that's floating out there on the intrawebs is crazy. You know how much information I can find on a person? You would be stunned by some of the things I find. This information comes from data brokers who gather, compile, organize, and then sell your information for marketing purposes. But then cyber criminals get it and they use it to mark people for phishing emails and other targeted scams. And nobody is completely immune from these threats. Aura will show you which data brokers are selling your information and automatically submit opt-out requests. As you can see from my own personal account here, look at how many requests were done in just one day. But that isn't what sold me on Aura. It's the fact that they offer so many additional features like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, credit score monitoring, and even identity theft protection insurance. Could have used that last year. I already had all these services from a handful of different companies, but having them all in one place is so much easier. There are too many wackadoos out there in this world to have your information hanging out there like that. I promise, if you have never been through identity theft or the target of a scam, it is not something you want to experience. There's great news though. Aura is offering a 2-week free trial. You can go to aura.com/Megs Crime Watch to sign up today, or scan this handy little code with your device, your second device, you know, the one you're not using to watch this. I am amazed at what they did for me in just a short period of time, and I think you will be too. I promise you, this is something that I have personally used and have seen work firsthand. So back to Miss Martinez, she was able to get the interlock removed during this hearing, but she came out with a scram. Then 2 months later, she's back in court in a special time because in that time between her last hearing and now, she violated the scram 3 times. She had 3 violations, 3 alcohol triggers on the scram before they brought her back in. Let's see how that one goes.
Is there an Yvette Martinez here?
She was here, Judge.
Where did she go?
Let me put you in the hallway.
All right, thank you. Mr. Longacre?
How
Hello,
about, can you hear me now, Judge?
I can hear you, but we can't see you. Are you able to start your video?
I am. Hold on a second. There you go.
Hello,
Good
Mr.
morning, Judge.
Longacre. Yes, I'm going to tell your client was here, but she's no longer here. We have an issue with her, according to the pretrial services report.
Yes, ma'am, I read it.
So what's going on with your client?
Well, Judge, honestly, I don't know. Apparently a significant alcohol problem. However, I've not been able to reach her. I called her numerous times yesterday. She returned one call and missed me. I even called her as late as, maybe 9 last evening. And I was never able to speak to her about it.
All right, would you like to try calling her now? Because my understanding she was here, but she stepped out of the courtroom.
Absolutely, Judge. Hold on.
All right, thank you. Okay. And can you check to see maybe if all the jurors are here? I know we're not starting till 9:15, but if everyone is here, then we can begin.
This attorney can't remind me for what I do.
Like holding something and showing it, but Avery's definitely putting it in her mouth.
Okay, you just say you were there, but you stepped out. and you
it's
needed input
okay.
and that.
Said something about
Thanks, bye.
we explored our Earth globe and noticed where the equator was. We discussed how.
So are you able to get in touch with her, Mr. Longacre?
Yes, Your Honor, I just got off the telephone. She was just using the restroom. She'll be right there.
Okay, all right, thank
We
you.
also explored some ice cubes with our sense of sight.
Oh,
touch them.
Well, I'm glad you're in recovery. You're doing better with the back.
You and I both, Judge. I'm so worn out with it.
Ah,
Good morning, Ms. Martinez.
hi, your attorney's by Zoom. So we have an issue. The issue is they say that you're testing positive for alcohol. And they're saying that it was on October 3rd through October 5th. So what's going on with you? And before you tell me the story, number one, we're not on the record. This is just me getting your attention, right? Because you're on bond for an alcohol offense, and I can't have you testing positive for alcohol. You understand? All right, so what are you doing to address your problem?
Couple of things that might turn out to be alcohol. I don't think alcohol anymore. That's the thing, but they told me not to. I think I've abused that a little bit because I do some modeling, and I totally slipped my mind about that.
Excuse me, Ms. Martinez, could you speak up?
I'm so sorry, yes, because I'm thinking it could be the perfume or the hairspray maybe.
We do need to use Lysol. My son, he gets sick real easy and there's like mold where I live, so we spray out Lysol. And it's been an issue having this leg monitor because, that's all I could think of, is those outside effects. I don't drink, I'm a Christian woman and I don't believe in making the same mistake twice, I have to suffer now for whatever consequences, but Your Honor, I did not drink any alcohol. Give me my word, God, my witness, that I have not drinking alcohol. You want to test me, you can. If
Okay,
could
I
be on
do.
some
Let me
type of
just tell
urine-
you, I do appreciate what you're saying, but I can't tell you the number of times that people have sworn to tell the truth, and then it turns out they're not telling the truth. So this is your third violation report. If there's a fourth violation report, what's going to end up happening is we're not going to have a hearing. They're going to take you into custody. And then what's going to happen, your attorney's going to want to have a hearing. So your alcohol use, that must stop. And whatever you think the reason is for this positive sample that I'm getting, it's going to have to stop. Because otherwise, it's going to be a fourth violation report, and we're going to end up hearing your case while you're in custody. You understand? So is there any reason why you won't be able to take antabuse? Is there some sort of medical or health issue where you wouldn't be able to take that?
Yeah, I do have thyroid problems.
All right.
If I could do a urine sample, that'd be nice. I'm just so scared because like I use Lysol and,
Well, I mean, here's the thing. You're saying you use Lysol. I understand the use of Lysol. My grandmother would use it a lot, spray it all over the place. But there are other products, and this is no bashing of Lysol products because I've used Lysol. There are other products that don't have alcohol in them that supposedly gets rid of 99.9% of the germs. So I'm just telling you, this is what I'm going to do, Mr. Longacre.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to continue her with Scram. You're going to do the DUI education course, and I'll waive the fees. And we're going to do the UA hotline with you.
Judge, I'm sorry, could you tell me the name of the class, the course again?
It's DUI education course.
Okay, thank
And I'm
you.
going to ask that the fees be waived. And I'm going to have her call the UA hotline. And she's going to be testing at least once a week.
Okay,
And that's going to be for 3 months.
yes, ma'am.
And we're going to see where we are after that.
Fair enough, Your Honor. Does that make sense to you, Ms. Martinez?
yes.
All
Perfect.
right. And Mr. Longacre, do you have all of your clients' contact information? Is there any other number that you need to give him? Okay. All right. Then Mr. Longacre, we don't do pre-indictment settings in this court. However, if you ever want to have something set, just set it and we'll put it on the docket.
For a pre-indictment,
Yes.
I got it. Perfect. Ms. Martinez, would you call me on my office line, 824-2100, when you get clear of the courthouse?
824-2100.
Correct.
All right.
Thank you so much. So with this test, even if there's outside, alcohol, like that spraying and stuff like that, but this test will determine that I'm clean, right? Like the urine test, it'll be.
Oh, we will see. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me put on there to test for alcohol. Yeah, they will.
Yeah, I've also had some issues with the Scram device. They're trying to sue me for a loan, and it's hard for me to pay for this device right here. It's been really tough for me, like financially. I don't know if there's a way that I could get the fee reduced or something.
Oh, I'll ask them to waive the fees or place you on indigent status. All right, sure.
That'd be a blessing.
You're welcome.
Okay, thanks. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
I am honestly not sure I remember ever seeing someone get away with this many chances with Judge Boyd. This was a year and a half ago, so it's possible it was from the massive backlog they were still working to clear from, that C word thing. Both Texas and Georgia were hit hard with delays, but Texas was pretty efficient in clearing their backlog. And there's a reason you stay out of Fulton County. Stay out of Fulton County. Speaking of Fulton County, you should check out the Meg merch shop because we have Stay Out of Fulton County t-shirts. We also have Peace, Love, Meg t-shirts. Megmerch.com, or just scroll down. I finally got it set up. Yay me.
Mr. Longacre? You're on mute, Mr. Longacre.
How about that?
That is excellent. All right, we have an issue with your client.
Yes, ma'am.
Your client's scram says that there are violations.
Yes, that's my understanding. I haven't seen the report, but that's my understanding.
All right, so this is not on the record because this is a compliance hearing. According to this, you're continuing to use alcohol.
Negative.
Yeah. I mean, you're saying negative, but I have a violation date of October 31st.
Judge, I told you, we talked about this last time. I made a promise to you that I wasn't gonna use any perfumes and Lysol.
Excuse me, could you speak up, please, Ms. Martinez?
I am innocent. In the name of Jesus, I'm innocent. I don't know why this thing keeps going off. I don't drink. I give you my word. My son's birthday's coming up on the 17th. I mean, I have children, Your Honor.
Mhm.
I have a job.
No, here's the thing. I understand that.
You wanna
Here's
test
the
me?
thing. Here's the thing. I understand that people have jobs. I understand that people have children, but I understand also that sometimes, even though people have those issues, they still end up testing positive. So I'm trying to figure out what is going on here. You understand?
I do understand.
Okay. So, Mr. Longacre?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Ms. Martinez, in my multiple conversations with her about using products that have alcohol in them, I admonished her, as you did, not to use any. At first, she indicated to me that one of her children was ill and she again used Lysol. She later said, no, it was not Lysol. It was a product she was assured by the pharmacist had no alcohol in it. I'm not sure which is correct.
All right. Jess, have a seat. We're going to get the pretrial services officer in here. Yes. I just have a seat. Okay, she's here. On Zoom. Sure. All right. Miss Lopez?
Hello, yes.
Yes. You can come forward. On Miss Yvette Martinez, has she had any more positive tests?
Let me take a look here. Let me see if we received her last results.
And it will be since October 31st.
So she had taken her first test on October 26th. That one was normal. Her last test was on November 2nd. That one was normal. And she just took a test yesterday. We have not received those results from Century just yet.
All right, and when are you expecting that result to come in?
That should probably maybe come in Tuesday, Wednesday, the latest. I know usually they take about 2 to 3 business days. And I'm not too sure if there probably might be a delay tomorrow with with Veterans Day. So I would not say Tuesday, Wednesday.
All right, but by Thursday, we would definitely know.
Yes.
Excuse me, Ms. Lopez, has Ms. Martinez taken a UA in the last couple days?
She took her a UA yesterday.
And the result?
Those results have not come in yet.
Okay.
All right, so what we're going to do is, Mr. Longacre,
Yes, ma'am.
we're going to come back on November 17th because I'm being told all those results will be in. Is that correct, along with the UA?
Yes, with the UA results from yesterday, they'll be in by Thursday.
All right. And I'm going to want you to make sure you do a UA on her on Monday, the 14th.
Okay, sounds good. I'll go ahead and make sure that she goes on Monday.
I was thinking about putting.
All right.
Your Honor,
Yes?
on November the 17th, may I be permitted to participate by Zoom? I'm still having a heck of a time getting around.
Yes, you can appear by Zoom.
Thank you. 9 o'clock, Judge?
Okay, no problem. Yes, it'll be 9 o'clock. All right, so Daniel, she's going to take, my understanding is that her November 2nd test was normal, but there are 2 outstanding tests they're waiting for the confirmations on. So we're going to come back on November 17th to see what the results are. And she's going to receive another UA on the 14th for alcohol.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Can you let Miss Ferguson know to come out so she can give her a reset form? All right. So we're going to see you on November 17th.
And
You're welcome.
just for clarification, when were the UAs given? Because I know we're just waiting for confirmation. When did she submit? You know?
November after, what day did she submit after November 2nd?
November 9th, just yesterday.
November 9th.
Okay. Somebody texted me, hey, there's a VR rain down here.
Appreciate that.
There was a good chance I walked out the office. I was about to come down and put the wrong
Oh, that's okay.
wrong color, and I was like, wait a minute.
All right. So Ms. Lopez, she has your contact information, so she's going to be in contact with you. Okay. Thank you so much for zooming in.
You're welcome. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And Mr. Longacre, we'll see you by Zoom on that day.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
You may be excused.
Thank you.
And Ms. Martinez, you need to remain in the courtroom till you get a reset form.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Leslie Lopez. Oh, he
Yes,
was
I'm
in
here.
his office. All right. All right, just 1 second, Mr. Cox. Ms. Lopez, did you get the update testing on Yvette Martinez?
Yes, I did. The results just came in yesterday for her test that she took on Monday. So that one was normal, and then the one from last week, that one was normal as well.
All right, Miss Martinez, if you can come up. All right, I'm being told that your tests were normal. So pretrial services continue with the same conditions as before.
Okay, sounds good, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you're excused. You're welcome. And then Mr. Cox. And thanks for zooming in, Ms. Lopez.
You're welcome. Thank you, Judge.
I wonder if it was really Lysol. I mean, how much Lysol do you have to use for it to go through the air and get on your skin and underneath the bracelet that's contacting your skin and then trigger it for an alcohol warning that has to be like 0.0 something for it to trigger? That's a lot of Lysol. That's like the amount of Lysol my grandmother used growing up. I have an aversion to Lysol and straight bleach. Grandma used a lot of them. Nana might have been OCD.
All right, Yvette Martinez. Where's Yvette Martinez? All right, hello. State, what is happening on this case? Where are you, counsel?
But just today,
Excuse me, you need to slide over.
I gave it all.
Okay. Counsel, do you have all the discovery?
Believe so. There's a lot of it. I believe so. I'm not positive.
All right, Ms. Fergus, can I have a 30-day reset on Yvette Martinez? All right, May 8th will be your discovery date to make sure that you have all the discovery. Then after that, the court will give you your plea deadline date.
All right, appreciate it. We'll see you on May 8th.
Yes, Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form. You're welcome.
$454 days. That's how long it's been since the accident. And he hasn't been able to get and review the discovery from a 2-car accident. How much could there possibly be? I know the other gentleman had injuries and that they required numerous surgeries, but that shouldn't prevent this from proceeding. And what on earth could be holding it up?
Yvette Martinez. All right. Hello,
Morning, Your Honor.
good morning. Did you receive an offer?
We have, Judge. And we're presently undecided about what to do with it. It's a serious case. Ms. Martinez had a high blood level, 2-count indictment, intoxication, assault, and assault with a deadly weapon, namely the vehicle.
Mhm.
I've looked at this discovery pretty thoroughly. I need to look more. In addition, I found out this morning that there was indeed a witness that may be of assistance to my client, was present in the car in the passenger seat. And I need to interview him for sure.
All right, this is the first time you're aware that there was somebody in the vehicle with her?
No, that it's the first time I came aware that he or she may have something positive to say about.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Martinez, can I have a 3-week reset for a plea deadline date? And state, I need an acknowledgement of discovery today. All right, we're coming back on June 5th. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form. And then
Thank
you're
you.
excused.
Thank you. I have another case. I'll be back.
All right, oh, no, Ms. Ferguson's gonna give you the reset form now.
I understand. I'm just saying, I have another case in your court this morning.
Ah, okay, all right, thank you.
I have a hard time feeling sorry for someone who doesn't express remorse for the actual victim in the case. She's feeling sorry for herself for this minor inconvenience in her life. She's still going out partying. I mean, what does she get for her mistake? Choice. A slap on the wrist? Meanwhile, the poor victim has his entire life turned upside down. For the past year and a half, she's still been living it up while he's been in and out of hospitals and surgeries. She's playing Marilyn Monroe and thinking she's some kind of superstar while crying about not being able to pay her attorney or even her scram monitoring fees while the victim's trying to walk again. It's messed up. There should be way harsher penalties for drinking and driving. Bottom line.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes,
Pardon me?
yes.
I wanted to let you know that my client, Yvette Martinez, is here. She's been notified. She'll have to write so you can bring it for a while.
Okay.
We're talking about it, and the DA is, I have it on the docket today to file.
All right, and did you let the clerks know so they can bring her file out?
No, I saw it.
All right, thank you.
While we're waiting for that file.
Oh, he has the file. I'm telling you, they work quickly. Yeah. All right, and it's Yvette Martinez?
Correct.
Putting the file for Yvette Martinez. Could you give them the cause number? Mr. Longacre, could you give them the cause number? Could you give the clerk the cause number?
I'm sorry, that would be 2023 CR 1876.
Is that Jordan Brown? Hi. Mom always asks about you.
She's still
She's like,
watching.
how's Jordan doing?
How's it going, Jess?
So, great. So what are you here for? Yes, that one I'm done with. All right, the court is calling 2023 CR 1876, State of Texas versus Yvette Martinez. Now parties announced for the record for the state.
Jason Gearhand for the state, Your Honor.
Defense.
Longacre for Ms. Martinez.
And are you Yvette Martinez?
Yes.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Martinez, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Judge.
All right. And counsel, it appears that you are only applying for regular probation. Is that correct? Community supervision?
No, Judge, we're applying for deferred adjudication. State today is opposing that. Fill out one for regular probation. I didn't know whether I needed to do both, but we're.
All right. So no, I have both. That's why I was wondering. All right. State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, we're waiving count 2, Your Honor. Proceeding on count 1 alone.
Any objection?
Not, Your Honor.
All right, I'm showing you, Ms. Martinez was entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Did you understand that you're charged with intoxication assault as a third-degree felony? The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Did you understand that the court would grant your application for deferred adjudication if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked? Court could find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in prison and an up to $10,000 fine.
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
She has indeed.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do.
Ms. Martinez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea bargain agreement, state is proceeding on count one. They're asking your punishment be assessed at 10 years in the prison. There's a $2,500 fine. State opposes your application for deferred adjudication. They recommend community supervision. There's to be restitution, if any, to Julio Casas Jr. and Cameron Casas. Also, you are to stipulate that on or about January 7th, 2022, you were at Pockets, a billiards bar and restaurant located at 5819 Northwest Loop 410, San Antonio, Texas, 78238, where you were drinking alcohol beverages and only consumed alcohol beverages at that location, then left the location driving your vehicle, and you drove your vehicle into a vehicle occupied by Julio Casas Jr. and Cameron Casas. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes.
Defense?
We did.
State?
It is, Your Honor.
Showing you the paragraph entitled waiver or appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, ma'am.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 10 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 200 hours of community service restitution, ignition interlock for half the term of probation, and 2-year Texas driver's license suspension. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes.
Then to the offenses charged in count one, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State exhibit number 1 with all its attachments.
No objection, Judge.
All right, and Norma, I'll need a date for PSI. And probation is going to be a PSI and TAP. And state, you may be excused. Ms. Martinez, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. I'm going to request a PSI and TAP evaluation, and you will be back here on August 3rd. At that time, I will make a decision on your application based upon the PSI report and any other evidence that's submitted. You understand?
Yes.
We can go off the record. So is she on any type of device?
I like monitoring.
Judge.
All right, thank you. Probation will let you know what you need to do, and Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset.
Your Honor, does that leg monitor need to remain until August the 3rd?
Oh, yes. Okay. All right, is there anything else?
Nothing further from us, Judge.
All right,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
I just want to tell you that I feel awfully bad for what I've done. I am sorry, Your Honor, and I learned from my mistakes. I would never do this again. This is embarrassing, and I have 2 kids, and I want to be the life for them, and I just.
Okay, what I will tell you
I'm
is.
sorry, that's all.
No. What I will tell you is this, and I tell this to everybody. These are not mistakes. These are choices that people made.
Yes.
So it's a bad choice that you've made, but it's not a mistake. Okay,
I
all
meant
right,
to say the choice, yes.
all right. No problem. I understand. Thank you. Stephen Wellington. For Yvette Martinez.
Your Honor, this is a victim impact, but this is the victim.
Okay. All right, sir. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm sorry you had to wait so long. I received notice from the defense attorney on this case has back surgery. We tried to get someone from managed assigned counsel to perhaps send someone else, but they're unable to do so. So I apologize for you for having to come down. We're going to have to reset it because even though I know what the agreement is, you know what the agreement is, and the state does, she still needs to have an attorney present. Otherwise, if I were to pass sentence today, it could always come back on appeal and we'd have to do all of this over again. So the attorney is telling us when will he be available?
Next Thursday.
All right, so we're going to recall this for Thursday, the 10th. And if you want to, you can come down, or if you want to be by Zoom, I'll allow you to be by Zoom. So just let the court know. And we'll call it on the 10th. And Norma, on the 10th, not only I'm going to want the attorney here, but I want someone from managed assigned counsel. So on the 10th, something is going to happen with this case. All right. Do you have any questions about anything?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you so much.
And just to let you know, that, I mean, he has come down at almost every setting, so I just want the court to be aware of that.
All right. So again, if you want to appear by Zoom, you can appear by Zoom, and I'll let you appear by Zoom no matter who objects.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. And I'm going to note on the docketing sheet that you've been here for every hearing.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Can I see Yvette Martinez up here, please? All right, Ms. Martinez, we're going to call you back on August 10th. Your attorney cannot be here today. Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you give her a reset form for August 10th?
Ms. Martinez.
I hope that was sincere emotion on her face and she realizes the damage she's caused. She's had 577 days to think about it. To have this looming hanging over her head. I hope at some point she really did understand what she did. I doubt it though.
Okay, Alfonso, did you know now there's an outbreak of leprosy? And there's an outbreak of leprosy in Florida. Oh, they say there's some new EG something. And so I'm just like, really? Really? Thank you. Mac on this case?
Your Honor.
Hi.
Morning, how are you?
All right, how are you guys doing?
Doing well, thank you.
So in this case, a plea bargain agreement has already been entered. The plea bargain agreement is for probation. We've been back time and time again to try to have this hearing set. The complainant has been coming down for each sentencing. So it needs to go today.
Okay, so I was gonna let you, the court know, we cannot get a hold of Mr. Longacre. We've been trying to get a hold of him for.
I know. So we're gonna have to have another attorney placed on it.
Okay, is it just a plea and?
Oh, it's a sentencing. And the agreement is for probation. We just need somebody to stand in for the sentencing.
Is it a set term already?
Is it a set term on the,
I'm sorry.
is it a set term of probation?
Yes, could I see the file on Yvette Martinez? Yes.
attorney, actually. Thank you, Your Honor. We have just a minute to consult with the client.
Sure.
Thanks.
Yvette Martinez, could you raise your hand, please? Thank you. On this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, if I could have,
I have short arms.
that's okay. You can walk around. All right, who's here on Yvette Martinez? Miss Martinez, if you'll come forward. All right, the court is calling 2023 CR 1876, State of Texas versus Yvette Martinez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Jason Garahan.
for the defense?
Jonathan Chavez for Ms. Martinez.
Are you Miss Martinez?
Yes.
All right, this case has been rescheduled more than once. And it was due to the fact that Miss Martinez's attorney that is listed on the record, Kenton Longacre, was unable to appear. And so it was reset for today. The court will note that each time this case has been set, the complainant has appeared. So the court informed Matt.
Yes, Your Honor.
And so what is the status?
Your Honor, the attorney who has been assigned, we have been unable to contact him for the past 3 weeks. We have spoken with both the state and Ms. Martinez, and we're comfortable with going forward with sentencing today.
All right, Ms. Martinez, are you prepared to proceed? You're gonna need to speak up.
Yes, yes,
All right, and you're prepared to proceed with these attorneys?
yes.
All right. So in this case, you entered a plea of guilty to count 1 on June 5th. The court requested a PSI and TAP evaluation. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI and TAP evaluation, state,
Yes, Your Honor.
defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI or TAP evaluation?
No, Your Honor.
And I forgot to put this part on the record. Ms. Martinez, have you had ample time to speak with the current attorneys?
Yes.
Okay. You entered a plea bargain agreement. According to the plea bargain agreement, your punishment was to be assessed at 10 years in the prison. The state is opposing your application for deferred adjudication. They are recommending community supervision. There is to be restitution to the complainants in the case. And there are stipulations about your location. Did you understand that as the plea?
Yes.
Okay. Counsel, is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, we just ask that you follow along with the plea agreement of the 10 years probation.
Okay. State?
Your Honor, the state is in agreement following the rec here, Judge, opposed to the deferred, and also to follow the tax recommendations.
And that's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right,
Your Honor, may I speak with may I speak with the client real quick?
yes,
Thank you. Something's just been brought to my attention.
Okay.
Just a brief moment.
sure. All right, we're back on the record in 2023. CR 1876, State of Texas versus Yvette Estrella Martinez. Counsel, have you had ample time to review things with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, we actually wanted to update the court. There are some things in the PSI that I believe we would like to object to as far as statements that were made.
Oh, sure.
But also there was an overlook on my part that SATIF residential treatment was the recommendation. There were two options and I overlooked that. So Mr. Garahan pointed that out.
Yes.
And that's what I pointed out to the client. And I would ask the court at this time for more time for sentencing, Your Honor.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, wherever Kenneth Longacre is, he needs to be here. So does anybody have his number? I will call him. All right, if you will text me his number, and if he wants to appear by Zoom, he can appear by Zoom. But this case is going to happen today. The complainant keeps coming down every single time. I know Ms. Martinez keeps coming down every single time.
I think just myself personally being ineffective for arguing.
No, I understand. Thank you. All right, everyone, just have a seat. I sent a text message.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right. And are you Ms. Martinez?
Yes.
Any objections to Mr. Longacre appearing by video, State?
No, Your Honor.
Do you have any objection to your attorney appearing by video?
No.
All right, have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
I have not, Judge. I have not seen it.
All right, so, Mr. Longacre, where are you located? Are you downtown?
No, I'm not. I'm at home ill.
All right, does somebody want to forward the PSI report to his email? If you could do that for me, please. Thank you. All right, just have a seat.
Thank you, Judge. I'll review it. I'll be right back.
No, the court is taking its break at noon, everyone. So everyone will have to come back. Mr. Longacre, you're going to be back here at exactly 1 p.m., not 1:05, not 1:02, 1 p.m.
I hear you loud and clearly, Judge. I'll be here.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm not sure what time it is, but he's back. And I know you don't often take my advice, but please, this time, just listen. No matter what, your purpose is on Zoom. Whenever you're on Zoom, for any reason, whether it's a doctor's appointment, whether it's a meeting at work, whether you're talking to your Nana, get dressed. It doesn't matter if you put shoes on, you don't have to fix your hair, you don't have to wear makeup, but put decent clothes on. It's important. It's very important. Why, you ask? Because you never know when you might have to get something off that back bookshelf. Oh, also, turn your freaking camera and mic off if you're an attorney. WTF. This is 2023. When the hearing happened, like now it's 2024. I actually know that. Yay me. As Judge Bryant once said, we've been zooming for years. You should know this by now. Don't do it. Gosh, don't do it. Don't do it. That's wrong. So wrong. Why?
Can I have parties announced for the record for the state
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
defense?
Canton Longacre for the defendant.
And are you Ms. Martinez?
Yes.
Any objections to the counsel appearing by video state?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Martinez, any objection to him appearing by video?
No.
All right, you entered a plea on June 5th to count 1 of guilty, count 2 was waived. According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishments be assessed at 10 years in the prison. State is recommending community supervision, opposing deferred adjudication, and there's restitution. And you're to stipulate that you were at Pockets Billiards.
Your Honor,
Yes.
to clarify one thing, did you say that the state is recommending straight probation?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, any witnesses from the state or the defense?
No witnesses from the state, Your Honor. It'd just be a victim impact.
All right, defense, any witnesses?
No witnesses, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
I do, Judge. First of all, Ms. Martinez has virtually no prior criminal convictions of any kind. This is her first felony offense. She has 2 children, ages 2 years and 7 years. She had lived here in San Antonio, presently lives in Pleasanton, Texas. The reason is, in addition to being abused as a child, between the ages of 7 and 12 or 13 or so by her parents, she was subject to both physical and sexual abuse by an uncle of hers while she was living with whom she was living here in San Antonio. That continued for, like I say, nearly a 4-year period. Finally, it culminated in the uncle apparently assaulting her and her children with a broom. So she left to go to a shelter, which happened to be located in Pleasanton. I had advised her before and again advised her today to apply for a protective order. And today in our conversation, asked her to do it today before she left the courthouse. She's still being stalked by this individual. He, for instance, knows she has court today. He may even be present in the courtroom. I don't know. In any event, she moved to Pleasanton to go to a shelter where she now lives. She's obtained a job at Savannah Suites, a hotel there in Pleasanton. She's a housekeeper. Her income is limited to about $1,200 a month as a housekeeper. Her children are on Medicaid, WIC, and food stamps. Pocket Billiards was indeed the only entity or person that served her alcohol that day. She had According to her, she had not drank prior to going to Pocket, was there for a couple hours. I've seen the TAP report. It recommends inpatient treatment. As to that, of course, item 1 of an alcohol abuser or alcoholic is denial. And initially, Ms. Martinez did not believe she has an alcohol problem. Given what has occurred in this horrific situation that could have been worse even, she acknowledges that she does indeed have a problem with alcohol. She has been she's never been to treatment of any type before, in or outpatient. She just started a few months back going to Alcoholics Anonymous on my recommendation, and she's continuing to do that. We're asking the court to consider an intensive outpatient program, given that she's never been in treatment before. And that inpatient treatment could be put on hold, and if she were to violate, perhaps then instituted. I'm not clear on one of the recommendations is that she have an interlock for 2 years. A second is that her driver's license be suspended for 2 years. I don't recall the exact number. The alcohol blood level was high, to be sure, and the offense is egregious, to be sure. Whether she is statutorily required to be suspended for 2 years, I'm not clear on that, but they've asked for both an interlock for 2 and a suspension for 2. Given Ms. Martinez's true remorse for what has occurred, and the horrific injury suffered by Mr. Casas and his son as well, and indeed it could have resulted in their deaths. We're asking the court to consider favorably consider our request rather for probation. 10 years is a long time, Judge, to be under anyone's oversight, including yours. We're asking the court to consider a shorter period than 10 years. Ms. Martinez is 40 years old. She's gone to some lengths to better her life and escape the abuse she's been the subject of for a considerable period of time. She has but a 9th grade reading level, according to the assessment. And she's working hard to get back on her feet, do well by her children as best she can. Indeed, if Mr. Casas does, as I certainly expect he shall, file a civil suit, he will not only sue her, but certainly Pocket Billiards, the server, given her income level, his hope of financial recovery to cover his extraordinary, I'm sure it's a couple $100,000 as I'm sitting here, medical expenses. Indeed, it would be the server rather than the consumer who would have the resources and the insurance coverage to pay for that. Given all that, we're asking your honor to respectfully request that the period of probation be considerably shorter than the 10-year period, with any restrictions it might find necessary to add. Thank you.
So Ms. Martinez, can you raise your right hand for me, please?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Yvette Martinez.
All right, where are your children?
My children, my daughter's with, my son, my daughter's with the grandma of my husband, Robert, back here.
Okay.
And my son is, with his dad, which I don't want him there because he has a problem with, drugs, just to be honest, so I'm kind of scared. I don't want him there too long, I want get him out of there as soon
I mean,
as
well, I mean,
possible.
you're
I
going
just
in,
had nobody else to watch him.
you're going into inpatient treatment today. So, we recently learned of a new program. I'll do New Things Ministries. So they may be able to speak to you quickly. We can also try lifetime recovery, but it's going to be while in custody. This is a very serious offense. People could have died. I'm concerned that you don't believe you have an alcohol problem because it appears from everything that I'm reading that you do.
I do. And
Okay.
I take full responsibility for
Okay.
what I did. It was wrong and I'm gonna pay for it.
So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take you into custody today. Mr. Longacre, if you would like to call are you pregnant?
No.
Okay. If you would like, and the only reason why I asked that is because it was suggested to me that maybe you were, and I would like the deputy to know that because if you are, they don't handcuff you behind.
Oh,
Okay. So that's why I asked, not that you look pregnant at all. Okay. All right. So I'm going to find you guilty. I'm going to sentence you to 10 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 10 years. There's a $2,500 fine that will be probated. There's to be restitution to Julio Casas Jr. and Cameron Casas, 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once you complete parenting classes, the restitution will be deemed satisfied. Ignition and interlock for half the term, 2-year driver's license suspension. You are stipulating that on or about January 7, 2022 at Pockets located at 5819 Northwest Loop 410, San Antonio, Texas 78238. You consumed alcoholic beverages, and Pockets was the only establishment that you assumed alcohol beverages that day. Then you drove a vehicle, into a vehicle occupied by Julio Casas Jr. and Cameron Casas Jr. Going to have regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular UAs, referral to lifetime recovery, or I'll do New Things Ministries.
Judge, could you spell that, please? Did you say all?
I apostrophe WL do DO new NEW thing THING ministries MINISTRIES.
Thank you. Is that here in San Antonio?
Yes, it is. There'll be regular reporting by, I already said regular reporting by Zoom or in person, proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. And the UAs, make sure they test for alcohol. I'm going to want 90 sober meetings in 90 days upon release. Field visits 1 time per month for 4 months, and then thereafter random as probation sees fit. Is there anything else that she needs probation?
Your Honor, the field visits after,
Release from inpatient.
however, she lives in Atascosa County.
Well, she's going to have to call in at least once a month for 4 months to probation
To her.
reporting. All right, is there anything else?
Nothing from the state.
Nothing from the defense, Judge.
Probation, anything else she needs?
Did you want to do DWI intervention or education?
Yes, thank you so much. Let's do DWI education and DWI intervention and do the VIP Live. All right. Anything else from either side?
Nothing on direct.
Anything else you need?
Oh, I just, yeah, I guess they'll better explain to me what I did, or, my sentencing.
Oh, probation is going to go over everything with you, okay?
Ms. Martinez, if you should have any questions that probation can't answer, you're certainly welcome to call me. Is there anyone you would like me to call?
Yeah, they could call, my daughter's father behind Robert.
All right, we'll let them know because probation is right here. Is there anything else you need to be successful?
I just want to say that I'm sorry and that, it was an evil act that I did. And, I'm glad that he's alive. I know he suffered a lot. I can imagine what he went through. Not being able to walk, being in a wheelchair, just not being able to work. You know, I got what I deserve today. In the name of Jesus of Nazareth, I ask God to just to help me through this because I feel bad.
All right.
I knew better and I made the choice, like you said.
Well, I will tell you this. I appreciate your saying that because you will not believe the number of people who I have before me who really don't internalize the suffering that they've caused others. So I appreciate that. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you have a chance to review that with your attorney and did you sign it?
Yes.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney, okay? All right, thank you so much.
And Judge, the last thing off the record, we just need to make an impact.
All right.
I beg your pardon, Jason?
They're doing a victim impact.
I see.
And feel remorseful because I went through a lot of pain and I'm still going through pain. I know you have kids, but I'm a son to my mother and I'm there for my mother and she depends on me. And you took that away for a good long time. And even now, I have a son. You could have killed him. If it wasn't for a split second that we broke because we saw you, he would have been dead. I would have possibly been dead. And you wouldn't have remembered any of this. You wouldn't have known anything that happened. You would have been like, well, I don't know what happened. You were intoxicated. You know, in the long run, I think you're getting off easy. You could have gone to jail for killing us. For, you know, I'm disabled. I can't run. I can't swim. I can't horseback ride. I can't get on a bicycle. At least not yet. And I have pain right now. I have pain. I have swelling. Every night, I have nightmares. I hit the brakes in my dreams, and it hurts. I was on pain medications for 10 months. I was in the hospital for a month. I had 3 surgeries. They still want to do 2 more surgeries. I'm scared because I don't want to lose my leg. They thought I was going to lose my leg. I've been thinking about this day for over a year and a half. And every time I think about it, I get real anxious and I start having chest pain. I can't sleep at night. I thought seeing you in court would be easier. Things made it worse. I never looked at you until today. I know you knew who I was after you found out that I was here in court the last few times. I never looked at you. I couldn't. I had a lot of hate towards you. In the end, I just wanted this to end. I don't want to come to court anymore. It's affected my mom. It's affected me going to family celebrations. It's affected me going to even the simplest things as going to a restaurant to eat because I couldn't, because I had an IV bag going into my heart for months because they thought I was going to become septic and die. And if that would have happened, guess what? That would be manslaughter. I feel for you, but you know, like I said, at least you're gonna be able to physically do things where I can't anymore. I'm affected for life.
All right, Mr. Longacre, you're excused. All right. All right, you're welcome. Have a good.
When I was creating this video, I hadn't watched this the whole way through. I hadn't seen all of the videos. I had just seen like the first couple, and I knew what happened based off of the case notes. So when I was watching them and I got to this last video and I heard the information from the PSI, I actually got kind of like upset, like, oh, I don't think I can do this. This is wrong. But then I started comparing the information that was being verbally given in the PSI to what I was finding online. I was finding lots of things online that didn't line up quite right with the PSI. Like a month or two after this hearing, she was posting pictures of her and her uncle together, the one that she was running from. And I know that that can be a thing, but when she was supposedly in the shelter, she was going out and posting all these pictures of her in fancy dresses, and it just didn't all line up quite right. I'm not quite sure what to think. She also posted about her husband in the same context that would have been what they were saying about the uncle. So I think there's a whole nother story there that I don't even want to know. I'm just telling you about the DUI part because in the end, she had a minor inconvenience in her life, and the guy on the other side like almost lost his leg and is permanently damaged. And it's messed up. And that's life. And that's how the justice system works. Till next time. After the last hearing, most of you had excellent intuition, like Reese Naza, who said, "My intuition is she will mess up again. Hopefully it won't be as traumatic, but hopefully she gets the punishment that is deserved. That poor man, heartbreaking." And Liam, who thinks the judge gave her the lighter sentence because maybe what's going on back at home. She did say, old dogs usually do not learn new tricks. If she fails, she will most likely go before her again, and she will get it full next time. Judge doesn't play. That's the truth. Juju said, "I have been studying body language and stuff, and well, guess what classic sign she's showing?" Yeah, I think we can all guess that one. Karen let us know that she works from home and rarely wears pants. I'm very happy for you, Karen, but I do have a serious question for those of you who do this. What do you do when someone comes to the door, like that random certified letter from something for who knows what? Or how do you remember to put them back on before the kid gets home from school? These are serious, legit questions because I'd like to explore this. M. Stevens says, please keep checking on this case. I bet she ends up violating her probation and will be back in court. She is a danger to society and should be in jail. And then Gen X responded, this is a full-blown alcoholic. To not have jail as a deterrent. Sad. She needs rehab stat. She was supposed to go to rehab, but obviously it didn't help. Anita Connor said, personally, I believe she will absolutely reoffend and violate probation 100%. Whitway 12 thinks the vast majority of the time Judge Boyd goes above and beyond and has exceptional judgment. And I think most of us agree with that. No one is perfect, and I suppose she did what she thought was best here. But in my opinion, in this case, justice wasn't fully served and the defendant learned absolutely nothing. I think we all agree with that too. She had very little remorse and will more than likely reoffend. Well, you were right on that. You did say you think Judge Boyd did the best she could with the circumstances, and I think we all can agree with that as well. And finally, Nays Mimi said, OMG, I remember this case. Her soon-to-be ex was in the chat with us talking about it right before Judge shut down the chat. I was wondering what happened with this lady. I wish I could remember all he talked about. I think he was trying to get custody of his child because she was an alcoholic and not a nice person. From her apology and her fake tears, only for herself, I tend to believe him. I hope he was able to get custody, and I hope her victims are able to recover and lead the best lives without too much trauma and make happy memories with each other. I pray for them. I pray for her children. Thank you, Meg, for posting this. I absolutely agree, Nancy. I try really hard to keep up on the comments on all the videos and literally read all the comments, but there's hundreds, if not thousands of comments on each video. And when I have an MS flare up or something happens that, I have to take a day off for an appointment or something, I get so far behind and sometimes I miss them. Lots of times I miss them. I can't read them all at this point. I'm trying though. And unfortunately, I missed this comment a month ago from Monica Nava, who said, a friend sent this video to my fiance today, who happens to be the victim of this accident. OMG, I wish I had seen this right away. She said, we just watched it in its entirety, and let me tell you, all those emotions from that night, the investigation, all the hospital visits, the sentencing, the not knowing if he'd lose his leg as he's a diabetic, and everything else from then to the present all came flooding back as if it were that night again. Oh, that's horrible. To top it off, this happened 2 blocks away from our home. His son was visiting for the holiday, and they were coming from having dinner. I was actually working from home at the time, so arrived at the scene pretty quickly. I couldn't understand how my fiance took the bulk of the hit with the direction they were going and from where she exited. It wasn't until later that he told me that all he could think about was that if he didn't brake and turn the wheel the way he did, that his son, which is his only child, surely would have died from how fast she was going. So he did everything he could to make sure this didn't happen. Oh, I praise God that they both lived. Absolutely. I took pictures of the scene and all throughout his recovery, including video. Life completely stopped for us that first year. We had to pick and choose the family events that we could attend according to his pain level, duration, and even location, as he was in a wheelchair, and that was pretty heavy for me to lift, and he couldn't bend his leg, which has taken a very long time for him to get to bend at close to 90 degrees. Wow. I think any of us that have lived with a chronic pain condition completely empathize with this and have lived through this ourselves and know how horrendous it is to go from being 100% normal to being so limited in what you can physically do. And what a traumatic thing that is to live through, both the physical pain and the mental, emotional toll it takes for your life to just go from normal to everything being so difficult to plan. Oh, my heart goes out to them. It really does. He still needs more surgeries as he hasn't already been through enough. Pancreatitis, gallbladder surgery. That one sucks. I'm just going to tell you. Sorry. That one I know about. I'm pretty sure the other ones are worse though. Previous knee surgery. Oh, a triple bypass. He already suffers from PTSD from his service in the Navy. Bless him. Meanwhile, she was out enjoying her life, getting her hair done, but was on government assistance. I had to stop getting my hair done. I had to take on more, including taking care of him, which is what we do for those we love. But what pissed me off was the fact that she continued to live and we stopped living life. God. She showed absolutely no remorse, and all her crying was more because she got caught. She showed this time and time again, but my fiance held the swinging door for her. That pissed me off. It pissed me off too. That pissed me off too. I mean, yes, it shows he's a good person. And it didn't piss me off in that he did it because he has manners. He's a gentleman. That's what he was trained to do his whole life by his mama, by the military, by everybody. But God, if that was me, I'd have just decked her. Not so much because he did it, as that shows how great of a man he is. Yes, it does. But more so because no one thought to have her wait until he was seated. Yeah, they should not have been together. That's so ridiculous. I could go on and on. I just want to thank you for sharing and shedding light on drunk driving and how it can destroy a family. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like that, it can't be said enough times that there's options. You can walk, you can Uber, you can call a friend, you can sleep it off. You can do so many things. There is nothing so important that it is worth risking your life and, more importantly, the lives of other people, because you're probably going to survive if you're the drunk one. All right, so let's see what happens to Princess when she violates her probation. Wow.
You're welcome. Court is calling 2023 CR 1876, State of Texas versus Yvette Martinez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris Salem.
Defense?
Glenn Payne for the defense.
All right, and are you Miss Martinez?
Yes.
All right, we are here for you to, you're requesting a bond be set, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. I spoke
Okay.
with the district attorney's office. We
Well,
agreed
let's
on-
start here. Why does she have need a bond to be set?
Your Honor, she currently has gotten a employment with Conduit. It's a,
No. Why is she in custody? That's
oh,
what
she has an MTR.
All right, so she has a motion to revoke.
Yes.
All right. So you're requesting a bond. And let me see. Is she on deferred?
No, Your Honor, she's on regular probation.
All right, so she's on regular probation, so technically she is not entitled to a bond. So I'll hear whatever evidence you want to present. State, have you had a chance to review the motion for bond?
Yes, sir.
And are you ready?
Bond, yes.
Motion for a bond? And are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
All right, do you have any objections to a bond being set? All right,
Your Honor, I just have argument to the court or statement to the court.
sure.
Spoke with the district attorney's office. We've agreed a $20,000 bond, if that's acceptable in court, of course. Miss Martinez is the mother of 2 children. She just recently got employment with Conduit, which is a telecall.
Telemarketing.
She's been working there. She hasn't been employed very long, just a month or so, correct?
Yes, sir.
So she's spoke with her employers. They understand she's trying to do this so she can get back to work. She's actually scheduled to work this weekend. This is why we came into the court this morning. There are some issues that I do need to do research on and speak to my client about before we handle this MTR. Since she's started correcting and making positive motion on the MTR, we'll be asking the court to grant the $20,000 bond.
All right, what are the allegations in the motion to revoke?
Most of the allegations, Your Honor, are testing on the portable breath test. And I think she didn't apply for her classes. So we think there's an issue with the.
All right, does anyone have a copy of the motion to revoke?
No, Judge, we're trying to get that for you.
Sorry, Judge, I only have it on my phone if you want to entertain that.
No. that's
While
okay.
they're looking for her paperwork that the attorney didn't think he might need to, give to the judge, let me show you a little bit of what she's been up to since the last hearing. She went to the dentist. That's nice. She hooked up with a couple MLMs on Facebook to sell some firming cream. And she got dressed up and sat in the front row of church. Wonderful. With that uncle that she needed to stay away from.
Does she have a vehicle?
She does not have, you don't own a vehicle, right? She doesn't have a vehicle.
No, you want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Yvette Martinez.
All right, do you have a vehicle?
I do not.
All right, why was there this long pause?
I'm not driving it, but there is a vehicle under my name, so one of my family members could drive the car. But it's for me until I get out of probation.
Where is this vehicle?
It's at my uncle's house.
Does she have access to the vehicle?
Yeah, no, my understanding she does. She gets help from a friend that drives her and Roger.
Yes.
And he is present, but he's in shorts. So I left him in the hallway.
He's here.
All right. So do you have access to the vehicle?
Yes, Your Honor.
So it's state, are you aware that she has access to a vehicle?
There you are.
All right, do y'all want to reconfer over what you all think the conditions on this bond should be?
Yeah, no, we're not objection. Since the vehicle's in her name, I'm not aware of that. We can agree to ignition interlock on the vehicle.
Do y'all want to confer? Off the record? All right, if you all will step back and confer, and we'll come back. 23 CR 1876 State versus Yvette Martinez. Have both parties had a chance to confer on the bond issue?
We have, Your Honor.
All right, any changes or requests for changes?
Only the addition of ignition interlock on the vehicle.
All right, and for the record, the court is aware of Ms. Martinez's any drug issues or mental health issues because she's on probation for this court. And those are things that I need to address when setting the bond. All right, the bond will be set at $20,000. I'm going to order ignition interlock. And that's to be until further notice. Ignition interlock must be installed. No later than Friday.
I believe Friday the 9th, Your Honor.
No, it needs to be installed this week.
Judge, today's Thursday, she'll be in custody. I doubt she'll be released till tomorrow.
We'll see. We'll
So-
see what happens. Yes. Okay.
I'm just like, what's that?
All right, August 6th. So no later than Tuesday, August 6th. Any other conditions requested?
No.
Any other conditions requested?
No, Your Honor.
Do you need any other conditions set for you so that you can be successful on bond and on probation?
I just need to be able to, the device that I had, I was blowing into it. I know that's like already far gone, but I think it was like malfunctioned or something like that.
All right, let me just tell you,
Oh.
I'm not taking any of the violations in
Well, that's right.
the motion to revoke is true. I just needed that to view that in order to set conditions. But allegations in your motion to revoke is that you have been skipping tests. So skipping tests does not equal a malfunction of the machine. That's you not testing. Do you understand?
Yes,
So the judge asked, do you need any other help while on this bond as a condition?
as far as going.
Just as the.
All right, and we need to set this for hearing. Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, ma'am.
I need a date.
August 19th.
August 19th, this case will be heard. And if it's going to be contested, it will be on August 19th. Ms. Ferguson, if you'll give her a reset form, please.
Sure.
All right,
Thank you, Judge.
you're welcome. Court is calling 2023 CR 1876, State of Texas versus Yvette Estrella Martinez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense?
Excuse me, Glenn Payne for the defense.
And are you Ms. Martinez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you the same Yvette Estrella Martinez who's placed on community supervision in 2023 CR 1876 for the offense of intoxication assault with a vehicle, serious bodily injury on August 10th, 2023 for a term of 10 years? Is that you?
Yes.
All right, I don't have trial court certification. All right, state.
Violating condition number 14M on or about the 13th day of June 2024 in Bear County, Texas. The defendant Yvette Estrella Martinez, defendant there, failed to register for or attend a certified DWI intervention program with the approved agency in violation of condition number 14.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
I plead true to that, Your Honor.
Your Honor, state waives all the violations.
Any objection?
No objection.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition 14M? Court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you to 10 years in the prison.
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation 14M?
Yes, Your
Court will find 14M true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. The proposed agreement is for the defendant to obtain scram instead of the PAM device and then zero tolerance for alcohol consumption.
All right, why are we doing scram instead of the PAM device?
Judge, because there's been a lot of missed tests on the PAM device, and so both state defense figured that the scram device would keep better track of any possible alcohol consumption.
And if I may, Your Honor, there have been no positive UAs for, or no test for alcohol. It's been an issue with the actual machine, her using the machine, picking it up and getting the proper testing. She's done many proper tests throughout the month, but she can explain it to you. It's kind of
All right, how does that
convoluted.
explain skip tests? That's what I don't understand.
She picks the machine up and resets it and then puts it down, and it's saying that it was blanking out previous tests, but she was taking numerous tests. She even had an issue this Friday, late Friday, when I was picking a jury where the charging cord, the individual said that the charging cord was not working proper. That's why probation has said scram, so there should be absolutely no issues with any type of her personally doing anything.
This is what I'm gonna do. I'm finding 14M true. I'm not gonna make a ruling. I want that person somebody from this PAM monitoring device to explain to the court about these skip tests. And then the court will make a decision on what I'm going to do with the motion.
Okay.
All right.
So
Do I
not
have a
the,
reset form, please?
so Judge, not the scram, but the portable.
Whichever one that she is saying there have been issues with it coming up as skipped and she really didn't skip. So how much time do y'all need to have that person come in?
A week or two just to make sure that we have the right person, Judge.
All right. You want to set it for September 12th? Is that enough time?
That should be enough time, Judge.
All right, we're going to come back on September 12th.
Like the company that for devices from
Yes.
is Lifesaver portable alcohol monitoring. And I'll give state the contact information for that.
Thank you. Any objection to that person appearing by Zoom, or defense, you want them in person?
No, just no objection. I would also like to get the information, so maybe I could talk to them.
Okay, so you're okay with them appearing by Zoom?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if you'll let them know, state that they can appear by Zoom.
Yes, ma'am.
Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
You're doing it all today. Thank you.
All right, with that, we're going to take our recess.